Well, hello there, my fellow flesh and blood players. My name is Sloopdoop, and today I want to do a nice casual, simple discussion, talking a little bit about physical versus digital card games. I'm not going to get too much into it, it's just mostly my preferences actually. This is just a video about how I feel about physical card games versus digital. So digital card games I have tried. I've played Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist, I think, on like Switch. I've played a couple other Yu-Gi-Oh! Games in the past. I've played Arena for a little bit, played the Pokemon card game online a little bit. I've tried a game of Hearthstone, and I gotta be honest with you, I don't like them. There's no appeal to me. The gameplay itself is just, I don't know, there's just something about it that I'm like, it doesn't appeal to me to sit down in front of a computer and play these card games for very long. I'll do it for a little bit, I'll play a game here or there, it's fine, but there's just something, right? There's just something about physical cards. There's something about having a deck in your hands that you've built yourself, that you can physically hold, that just, there's something to it, man. There's something else to it. And I think I actually know what that something else is, or at least I have a theory. Human beings are fantastic animals. We are animals, right? At least I believe so. I believe we've evolved as a species over time. We've come to this point. And I like to look at things through an evolutionary lens. I like to think of, well, how would we have done things as a hunter-gatherers? What like in the past would have given us advantages, or how can I work with my body? For instance, I wear barefoot shoes whenever it's warm enough to, barefoot water shoes, because they are the most comfortable shoe I've ever worn. And if I go running, I run in those shoes because it's unnatural to have a thick rubber wedge at your heel. You're actually, if you wear flat shoes, perfectly flat shoes, you actually run differently, where you fall on like the palm of your foot rather than the heel if you are wearing running shoes. And so things like that, I like to think of. And I was sitting there and I was eating dinner and it just popped into my head. I was like, I think the physical card games is this theory that I've heard before. And it's our brains, when we hold something, a tool, specifically a tool, we see it as an extension of ourselves. So if I were to hold this Phillips head screwdriver, for instance, my body now sees it as an extension of myself. That's how you can use tools so efficiently, so effectively. You learn from a young age how to use something, and it sticks with you, and you get better as you go. But just your brain, right now, my brain is literally seeing this as part of my body. This isn't just, this isn't just an item I'm holding. It's literally physically part of me. And I thought that was very interesting. And that's one of the things that I wonder if it's the advantage to having a physical card game, right? Is because as you're sitting there, you're looking at these cards, they're in your hand. And they are technically a tool because you're playing something and they are the tools of that game, right? They're what you're using, they're the game pieces. And I genuinely think that a big appeal to physical card games is simply that part of your brain that sees something as an extension of yourself when you're playing a game. You've got cards in your hand, you've got the deck here, you've got that feel when you shuffle. Everything is tactile, everything is through your senses. Like the sensation of touch. It was just something I thought of, and I wanted to kind of talk about it a little bit, because I really do think that digital card games are inferior to physical card games. Because for me, when I play a game, I'm not just looking to win or lose. There's more to the experience than that. This is why I talk about art so much. And I just made a video about immersion, actually. I did that video just a couple days ago. You're seeing this quite a bit later, but I think that art is super, super important for games because it evokes a feeling, right? And there's a similar feeling when you're sitting there shuffling a deck or shuffling your hand because you want to be really annoying, or you're just like me and you're twitchy and you have to move a lot. There's just something about having the cards in your hand, having the art in front of you, that brings more of an immersion to it. I don't really get immersed in a game when I'm playing online. I get immersed in a game when I have it in front of me in paper in my hands. And I really do think a part of that is the brain extending whatever you're holding as like a tool as a part of yourself. And I wonder if, they're not technically a physical tool that you're using to do something with, but you're still making actions. And I remember watching old Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck techs, right? And one of the common things was you'd put your card down and you'd just keep holding it up. And, you'd be doing it actually upside down usually, a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck lists, and they'd be holding a card like this and doing little motions with it, right? Like you're holding the item that you're talking about in your hand, and you're being very active with it to kind of emphasize what you're talking about. And I'm dropping things, And I wonder if it's just the brain, if it's just the brain's like, this is a part of me. And I think that's why we get so attached, because I get very attached to my decks, very attached to my cards. I get very like, there's just something about it that gives me this feeling of importance, and I don't get that in digital games. And I really do think this is why physical card games will still continue to be played. You know, everything's going digital, but I really do think that physical card games still hold that value because people just like to have it in their hands. They also like to have shiny things, okay? Digital shiny things, physical shiny things. Real shiny cards that you can be holding. Those cold foils. I just got some cold foil promos. You know, you pull some legendaries. I just bought a Mask of Momentum for the Ira deck I built, and I also got 2 cold foil Kadachis for it. You know, just when you sit there looking at those shiny cards, it really triggers a part of your brain that's like, ooh, value. You know, and I think that's a very old, you know, something shiny was probably worthwhile. We're like crows, I guess. But, you know, like I said, I just wanted to kind of talk about that. You know, what do you do you think I'm crazy or something? Like, that idea that our brain extends itself, like our arm extends into whatever tool we're holding. You're holding a hammer and it's part of your body. Your brain reads it as part of your body. And I wonder if it's the same thing with card games, because you're holding something that you're using, and so your brain's like, this is a part of me. And I don't know. There's just something else about playing a physical card game that really grips me. Like when I play a card game, I want it to be in paper. I want to be playing it actively. There's that physical aspect to holding and shuffling and moving your cards, and I think it's because the brain. Again, I've said that 1,000 times. I'm not gonna keep going. That's really all I wanted to talk about. I don't, you know, digital games, they have their advantages, obviously, and maybe I'll do a video about that someday, talk about the advantages of digital and the disadvantages and vice versa. Like, for instance, erratas are much easier on digital. But for this video, I just kind of wanted to share that idea. Tell me what you think. Write in the comments. You know, if you like this video, you want to see more kind of discussion, thoughtful, I'm stoned and just ate dinner type videos, subscribe to the channel. I would like you to subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave a comment. I've got a lot more stuff coming down the works. I got some interesting videos that I want to make with characters. You saw my frog hat in the Flesh and Blood Was Dead video. That's going to be Mr. Ribbits the Scalper. I've got a character called the Deck Bag, who I was originally going to have him rap songs, and then turns out I can't rap, so I'm not going to do that because I literally I can't. Like, I'm awful, so it's like I'm just not even going to. But I might turn him into a character who just insults your deck, use him in skits and that. So yeah, like I said, obviously Evil Investor Sloopdoop still here, and then there's me, Sloopdoop. But this is just one of those videos that I thought of, wanted to share. Let me know what you think. I hope you all have a good day. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.